I've always had a fascination with history. The events that shaped our world are worth spending time learning. While in no way does the CE Asia developed Banner of the Maid suggest that it is historically accurate, the team has put together a beautiful tactical RPG packed full of names from French history that kept me entertained for hours. Banner of the Maid follows Pauline Bonaparte, the sister of the famous Napoleon, during the French Revolution. She is eager to help her brother and serves in the military as an officer. During her first battles, it's shown just how capable she is and how she ends up being named a Maid of the People. The Maids of France are powerful units who have the strength to turn the tide of the war, but she will still need the help of the people to do so. The story isn't so straightforward though, as players will need to take on quests and gain allies in various factions. Although this does include battles, there are times when the influence is gained through conversation. However, these conversations sometimes affect relationships with other factions, so it gets rather interesting later on in the game. The benefits of the factions include political influence and access to special items. While it was a rather cheeky design choice to make each of the female characters displayed with huge breasts, the story actually never seems to dwell on this, so neither did I. Plus, all the characters are rather attractive, even though they are long dead by now. During gameplay, players will acquire new units as they complete missions and quests. Battles are turn-based standard tactical RPG greatness, where players move their units and execute actions. Borrowing elements from games like Final Fantasy Tactics and classic Fire Emblem, players control a large group of units represented by a single officer. Officer types vary by different classes, with some units being stronger against certain enemies. There's a variety of mission types, but I really enjoyed how the environment changed throughout the battle. The environments in the game are each unique. Elements such as fire can often limit mobility around the map, but at some point it might rain and put it out, which can change the battles considerably. Though the battle system is engaging, navigating the menus can often feel disorganized. This also bleeds over into the item management, which isn't very streamlined at all. While the character classes are there, I was never really forced to change classes or try new things, which means you can go through an entire playthrough without really switching classes or building hybrid units. Balance is another issue that might take some getting used to. There's no way to grind levels or go back and play old story missions to try new things. This gives off the impression that you are basically just a set piece within the battle, and there are specific ways to get through these encounters. Any deviation often results in death, which won't go over too well with hardcore fans of the genre. As I mentioned before, character illustrations are beautiful and play off a historical fantasy theme well. Sadly, the game doesn't have voiced audio, which I felt would have made the longer story sections a bit more immersive. While the music in the game is decent, there seems to be strange fade outs or hard stops when the track ends, and then the song loops again. I would have preferred a music looped unnoticeably. When it comes to localization, I think the developer did a great job of bringing this game to the Western territory. I held off on my review to wait for a pre-launch patch, which fixed the issues that I found in the game's translations, but even then, I never really felt like it hindered my understanding of the game's story.
轮到我了吗？
Banner of the Maid is a decent tactical RPG that is as easy to follow as it is approachable. Hardcore fans of the genre might miss some of the more in-depth systems offered by other titles, but I believe that there's enough here to satisfy any player, no matter their skill level. I had a lot of fun with Banner of the Maid, and I really enjoyed some of the more unique elements that it has to offer. There are some issues with the menu organization and balance, but the game loop of progressing through the French Revolution while also building an affinity with various factions was brilliant. Now, which other historical figures can we turn into waifus and husbandos? Noisy Pixel is giving Banner of the Maid a 7.5 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Please read the full review at noisypixel.net. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers who work hard to deliver news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe to keep up with all our future content.